So you can see we have the integral of 2x to the power of 5 minus 1 over 4x cubed minus 5 dx. We're going to give each term in its simplest form. Before we start, I'm going to jot down a few things. So remember that with integration, the integration thing overall, so integral of x to the n dx is we add 1 to the power, so n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. So that's the basics of integration. We're going to do that with each one of these terms. But first I'm going to turn them all into just powers of x to the power of something. Just because I don't like this 1 over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this. So over here I have the integral of 2x to the power of 5. That's not going to change. Minus 1 over 4 x to the power of negative 3. Remember, anything on the bottom is a negative power. It makes it a bit easier in the integration. So take away 5 there, dx. Okay, now I'm going to go through and I'm just going to work out what each one is. So the integral of 2x to the power of 5, we're going to add 1 to this 5, which becomes a 6. So 2x to the power of 6, and divide by that new power of 6 there. Okay, so again I've got 1 over 4. I'm going to add 1 to this minus 3. I'm going to get minus 2. Then I'm divide by that minus 2. So let's go ahead and put the x to the minus 2 in there, all over minus 2. I know this looks a bit messy at the minute, but we'll tidy it up. I've got a minus 5 on the end there. That's technically x to the power of 0. So we add 1 divided by 1, and that just becomes an x. Okay. Now we don't have limits, so one thing that we must remember there is our c, our constant of integration there. Let's go through and tidy all this up then. So 2/6 nicely just becomes a third, so I'm going to reduce that down to x to the power of 6 over 3. I've got a negative 1/4, and then this is technically negative a half, which becomes positive an eighth. So I'm just going to go ahead and tie that up all at once there. Remember, a negative power goes to the bottom. Minus 5x plus that c there. So I've integrated each term in its simplest form. One thing that I didn't mention there is that quarter. Notice how the 4 doesn't come up with the x to the power of minus 3 over here. It does stay on the bottom. It's only the x that is attached to that power of 3. So the only power of 3 is attached to the x, I suppose. Yeah, there we go.